dislocated my arm once. That wasn't, yeah, that wasn't fun. Yeah, so in kindergarten, the ripe age of 5 years old, I broke and dislocated my arm. And I didn't even know what was going on at that time. So that was definitely, an experience. And, you might be asking yourself, oh, how do you break your arm? How do you dislocate your arm in kindergarten? You gotta be a pretty stupid kid to be able to do that. And that's the thing, is that, it happened from something stupid, but, I wouldn't call it my fault, in all in all. But basically, for some context, for some context, in kindergarten through 5th grade, except 5th grade kindergarten through 4th grade, after school, I would go to this person's house, and this woman would, pick up a bunch of other kids from the same school, and, we were all friends, we all knew each other. It was, a good way to kind of learn how to socialize and learn how to get along and all that jazz. And she had a trampoline in the backyard, but it was an old trampoline, right? So it could only hold like 3 kids at a time, right? And of course, she would be watching it the whole time. It was it was a proper trampoline. It had a net wall and whatever. You weren't unsupervised. It was a safe environment. But one day I was on the trampoline with one of my friends and this other kid who was a year older than me, and he probably weighed like 30 pounds heavier than me too. Yeah, he goes to my high school. Not a fan of the guy, but that's that's a story for another crappy video. But basically, we were playing this game where you would like throw the ball over the trampoline fence, so it would go over into the rest of to the backyard where the rest of your friends were or whatever, because obviously you wanted to be included in the trampoline fun. Oh my god, it was this game that involved a lot of jumping, right? Because you had to jump to throw the ball over or whatever. But one of the times we were playing this, I got double jumped, which is, if you don't know what a double jump is, I'm not talking like in terms of video game, it's kind of weird. Or double bounce is a better word for a double bounce. It's when you land, like you hop and you land back on the trampoline, and as you land, like someone else, also lands, so it's kind of like that double force, and you get launched up higher because of physics or whatever, trampoline elasticity. I don't know. I got a B in physics. B in beginning physics. I'm not smart. I'm really not a smart high schooler. But basically, that's a double bounce, right? And one of these times I got double bounced, and I got sent up a lot higher because that fat kid, who I dislike, is the one who landed. And basically, like midair, this is what was kind of explained to me, like a while after. What happened was, I kind of flailed in the air, right? I wasn't that high off the ground. It's a trampoline, right? But I flailed in the air, and when I came down, I landed, and I put like all of the pressure from that height onto my right arm. And basically, that landing force, it dislocated my arm, I'll put it on the screen, but your bone is on a joint, right? And so when I landed, those joints disconnected because of the force of the fall. And I don't actually remember a lot from that day. It's not a trauma response. I just have a bad oh my god, I just have a bad memory. Anyways, yeah, I just have a bad memory. But I remember like the caretaker lady, she was trying to like gauge my pain a little bit, right? So she gave me like a Reese's Pieces Buttercup, and she was like, "Oh, try and open this, right? Try to open it, whatever." So as I was trying to open it, I just like kept crying and I kept crying, and it's just like I don't remember the pain, you know? I don't remember the pain of what that felt like, but I just remember trying to open a peanut butter cup, like mid crying, and like, yeah, and that's about as much as I remember. I barely remember the hospital visit. I just kind of remember the aftermath where I had to wear a cast for like a few months, you know, as you do. And it's just like, you know, I was a kindergartner, and then I would become a first grader with the cast. And I was just a really, really immature kindergartner, you know, as kindergartners go. So whenever my arm got like itchy, I would like tear at the cast, and I would like mess it up. But they say that you shouldn't do that because then that messes with the healing process, and they give you a condensed air can to scratch yourself, like you spray the air in the cast or whatever. And it's just like, God, this is so embarrassing. Okay, so the cast is cushioned, right? So it has like cotton or whatever. This is not recoverable. The cast is cushioned with cotton or whatever, right? And so, you know, to scratch my arm, I would have to dig into the cast because I didn't want to deal with it, you know? I was stupid, right? Still am, a little bit. So, one of the days in kindergarten, I scratched like a ton of the cotton out, and it was just like, I just put it under my kindergarten chair. And, you know, after I left school, because back, you know, in when I was in kindergarten, I had half days every single day, right? I didn't have 6-hour school days. I had like a 4-hour school day, right? And, you know, I just remember my mom like bringing me back to the school, and like I had to apologize for kind of throwing a bunch of cotton onto the kindergarten classroom floor or whatever, and just kind of, you know, basically like littering. I was just being a nuisance. And yeah, and also I can't move my arm straight anymore. I'll put a picture of it up on screen somehow, but I can't, my arm literally does not go straight anymore. It's not a big deal because I don't do anything to where my right arm would have to be perfectly straight. It's a total non-issue. But it's just like it's more like an interest. That was terrible. It's more just like a sad fact about my body is that my arm can't go straight anymore. So that sucks. But not a big deal. And, you know, in the photo, you'll also see like the scar or whatever. I don't have an X-ray, because why would I? But, you know, it was pretty gross. Yeah, that's my dislocated arm story. Go check out my other slot. Thank you.